Good day, everyone. I am Cherry Antibog. I am tasked to present the agrarian reform of the four president. The President Joseph E. Estrada, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, President Benigno C. Cojuangco, President Benigno Simeon Cojuangco Aquino III, and the last one are present president, who is Rodrigo Rua Duterte. So let's start to President Joseph E. Estrada. Has his presidency start from 1998 to 2000. ERAP initiated the enactment of Executive Order Number 151, or the Farmer Trust Fund. So it is established on September 1999. So established the Farmers Trust Development Program and provided institutional reforms and fund mechanisms for mobilizing long-term private sector capital for rural development. So it is an empowerment of the farmer required the creation of new institutional structures and mechanisms that can expand medium and long-term private sector investment in agriculture. So the main goal of this farmers of the Farmer Trust Fund is for the poverty eradication, food security, and global competitiveness. So in which the private sector will give the capital or that fund for the farmer, so that the farmer will manage the farm. So it is a long term private sector investment in which it involves the private sector for the agriculture. So the second one is the magkabalikat para sa kaunlarang agraryo or magsasaka. The DAR forged into joint ventures with private investors into agrarian sector. It enhanced the income of the farmers. So the main concept of this is for the investors to bring in capital, technology, and management support, while the farmers will contribute at most the use of their land itself. So and it is somewhat the same from the Executive Order Number 151, because it involves an investment of the private sectors. So they will provide the capital, the technology, in order to support the farmers, but the farmers will contribute their land itself. So it encouraged investors to bring investment into the countryside and to enhance the income of the farmers through joint venture. So through the joint ventures of the private investors, it enhanced the income of the farmers, and it is very helpful to the farmers, because the investors will provide the materials or the capital for the improvement or for the management of the land, and also it enhanced the income of the farmers. So the next one is the President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. So her presidency start from 2001 to 2010. So President Arroyo envisioned to make the countryside economically viable for the Filipino family by building partnership in promoting social equity and new economic opportunities towards lasting peace and sustainable rural development. So, the first one she amend is the Executive Order number 379 S 2004. So it is transforming the Department of Agrarian Reform into the Department of Land Reform. So the DLR, or the Department of Land Reform, was also the responsible for the recognition of the ownership of ancestral domain by indigenous people under the National Commission on Indigenous People, or the NCIP. So because of this order number 379, so the recognition of the NCIP is being ordered. So through through this reform, so na-establish na maging kilala ang mga NCIP. So the ownership, ancestral domain of the indigenous people, is recognized by through the Department of Land Reform, or the DLR. So the next one is Memorandum Circular Number 4, Series of 2003, the Kapit Bisig Laban sa Kahirapan Agrarian Reform Zones, or Kalahi R Zones. So this project will assist the government in strengthening the capability of local government unit, or the LGUs, to design, implement, and manage development activities. Such activities may include basic infrastructure like new or rehabilitated roads and bridges, barangay schools and clinics, and water supply. So, it will prioritize their development needs, design activities, seek technical expertise, and make informed choices on how resources are used for sustainable reduction. So, through the government, this project will strengthen the LGUs, all the local government unit, or mga munisipyo, which is the main point of this is to for the implementation of the infrastructure, mga barangay schools. So marami para for the rehabilitated roads, barangay schools, clinics, and water supply. So the Republic Act number 97700 2009, strengthening the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Act, or the so-called CARP. So it extends the acquisition and distribution of all agricultural lands, instituting necessary reforms, amending for the purpose certain provisions of Republic Act number 6657, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Law of 1988, as amended, and appropriating funds thereof. So, in short, its goals are to provide landowners equality in terms of income and opportunities, empower landowner beneficiaries to have equitable land ownership, enhance agricultural production and productivity, employment to more agricultural workers, and put an end to conflicts regarding land ownership. So it means equity or fairness. So the landowner will have the opportunity to provide benefit from the land. So it is an equitable land ownership production. So the workers, so we cannot deny the fact that there are times that in terms of land ownership there are conflicts. So it is an act wherein it it provide or it establish fairness in terms of the land ownership. So the farmers will the farmers will have the an equal treatment will have an equal treatment to the ano to the government. So the CARP not only involves the distribution of lands but also included package of support services which includes credit assistance, extension services, irrigation facilities, roads and bridges, marketing facility and training. So the CARP is the it is an act wherein CARP which means the distribution of lands, but it doesn't only distribute the lands, but also um, the CARPs provide services such as credit assistance, extension services, irrigation facilities, roads and bridges, marketing facility and training. So it would benefit to the land because of the so-called services. Then, so the next one is President Benigno Simeon Cojuangco Aquino III. So his presidency started from 2010 and it lasted in 2016. So um, the main reform that he established is the CARPIR, or the so-called Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program extension with reforms. So it is the amendatory law that extends again the deadline of distributing agricultural lands to farmers for 5 years. It also amends other provisions stated in CARP. So it means that it is the continuation of the CARP because the CARP established by Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, but it has an expiration date um, in 2009. So Aquino continued this reform, but he adds something which is it turned into CARPIR is the extension with reforms, but um, it also amends other provisions stated in CARP. So, together with farmers, Catholic bishops, and other land reform advocates developed a plan of action for the implementation of the comprehensive or the CARPIR. So, he continued um, he continued the CARP reform because of her mother also who is Corazon Aquino, because it is reformed by Corazon Aquino. So that's also Aquino established the multi-stakeholders mechanisms composed of representatives from the DAR and CARP agencies, church officials, other farmers, and federation to monitor the implementation of the CARP, specifically focusing on. So Aquino established the multi-stakeholders. So he monitored the 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 CARP year through the DAR, or the Department of Agrarian Reforms, the CARP agencies, church officials, other farmers, and federation to monitor the implementation of the CARP. So specifically focusing on coverage and distribution of agricultural lands and, and the movement and performance of Department of Agrarian Reform personnel. So he monitors also the personnel. The third is the delivery of support services to the beneficiaries, and the fourth is the budget allocation and utilization. So he must monitor the allocation or the allocation budget, because we don't know that if the budget, if the budget or the money doesn't manage properly by the 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 mga gaway-gaway ni Ninoy Aquino. So the monitor of the implementation of the CARP should monitor properly. So the next one is our present president, who is President Rodrigo Duterte. So the issue of the land reform has been persistent even up to the present time. So the current Duterte administration is committed to pursuing the Agrarian reform program in the country. So President Duterte, who is also the chairman of the Presidential Agrarian Reform Council, or the PARC, has included land tenure security to improve the quality of life of farmers and raise their productivity. So President Duterte is very concerned with the quality of life of the farmers. So he's very concerned to that. So the current Duterte is only pursuing the agrarian reform program. So the second one is the president wants to pursue an aggressive land reform program that would help elevate the life of poor Filipino farmers by prioritizing of support alongside land distribution. So the farmers must have support for them to support their land, so to their mga pananom. So President Duterte has an reform for the that is very prioritized to the Filipino farmers, so to in distribution the land. So the DAR created an anti-corruption task force to investigate and handle reports and alleged anomalous activities by officials and employees of the department. So President Duterte is very corruption. So for him to have a fair or very yung maganda ang yung flow ng kanyang reform. So he have to investigate and handle reports on alleged anomalous activities by officials and employee of the department. So marami na talaga si Duterte na investigate or na discover ng mga anomalous activities regarding the reform of the land. So marami na talagang nakulong because of Duterte. Because we cannot deny the fact that there are many officials who are corrupting to the government. So he is the one who made them para investigate and reports ang mga anomalous activities. So that's all. Thank you.